Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another class with Ladies in Tech Africa Bootcamp. Lita, I hope you're all doing good today. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I hope you're all doing good. Great today. Welcome to another day, another time of project management. Ah, good evening, Omada Sola. Good evening, Pastor Favor. Good evening, Oludupupotoyin. Oh my goodness, wrong place slide. Sorry, can you take down that slide, please? God. Sorry. Okay. Welcome to class, Chama. It's been ages. It's been ages. Omato Sola, even me, I was wondering. I was shocked. I was shocked for a minute there. But like, but thank you guys for calling my attention to that. That was something else. Good evening, Eunice. It's nice to have you in class. It's nice to have you in class. It's been forever. Okay. Took the previous class, and Mr. Kingsley is also saying hi from the back end of the class. How has the power grid thing been going for you? Sorry, guys. The network here is a bit unstable. Okay. Good evening, Dorcas. Good evening, Teresa. Welcome to class. Uh, Hi, Kenny Banky Jason. I hope I pronounced it right. Welcome to class, everybody. Welcome to class. So, a lot of hi, Toyin. Welcome to class. Good evening. Good evening, Ibuk Onuolua Odu. Hi, Toyin. Good evening. Welcome to class. It's been a minute. Hi, Bimpe. Welcome to class. Oof. So, without further ado, so a lot of teams have turned in their projects, and we're evaluating it. Myself and Mr. Kingsley, and I would like to say a very great job, well done. Thank you, Joma. Thank you so much for the compliment. I can't see you too, but I know you're looking beautiful too as well this night. So based on what we've been evaluating, based on your work, I want to say everybody did amazingly well. Was so impressed with the show of works, dedication, and you can clearly see that a lot was put into it, right? So I want to say a big well done to every one of you that participated and contributed in the team project, right? It was really, or it is really amazing to see you guys doing absolutely amazingly well, right? I'm proud to have you all as colleagues and team members um, on future projects and your own personal career path, right? But well done, everybody. It's really impressive work. You've done really great. You've um, outdone yourselves. So yeah. So in the last class, who can quickly let me know what they learned in project closing with Mr. Kingsley? I'm curious to know what you were able to pick up from the last class. What interested you? What intrigued you? What did you take home as a take note? Right? What um, resonated more to you so far in the journey that you've been taking in this PMP class, right? What spoke to you? What spoke to you? Just let me know. What did you pick out of the so many words and the so many explanations and instances? What did you pick? What did you learn? I'm curious to know. Okay. Welcome to class, Blessing. Okay, so Omodesola, a girl, said, last class I learned project closure is the final phase of the project lifecycle. It ensures all boxes are ticked, lessons are learned, and everything comes out great, even if it isn't 100%. Okay, that's really nice. Okay, Grace said the last class was about close out. Okay, pretty much what project closing means in a nutshell. Ugu Olua Oando said, I learned about having a formal documentation of the project and signing off on and after every project deliverables or milestone. That's really lovely. Fidelis Favor said, I learned that the project process starts from the initiate to planning to executing to control and to closure. And the close phase is just as important as the other phases. That's a lot of points learned. I like that. Aditola said, every project is unique and should be treated as an entity and put all the efforts each of them deserve. That's lovely. That's nice. Blessing Many said, learn steps to project closure. Kainde Oluboni said, I learned to document lessons. I learned to document lessons learned per milestone, which could be positive or negative. Class is so interactive today. I'm liking that. Esther Oluwatumishe, I'm becoming good with my pronunciations, said, before closing the project, every part of the project must be finalized from the budget to the deliverables. Wow. Talking to you guys is like I'm already talking to professional PMPs, project managers. JJ, Jai said, all about the last class was about the project closure. In a nutshell. In a nutshell. Teresa, my girl, said, in the last class, I understood that feedbacks and documentations are important in the planning of a project because with that one would be able to apply the lessons learned in future projects. Wow, that means you guys picked a lot from the last class because everybody is just hammering on. Ibuk Kunuluwa Odu said, in project closure, all outstanding must be settled, all disputes resolved, and aspects of the project documented. Hmm, that's that's pretty much like finesse. That's really finesse. Ofom Cynthia said, I learned about the processes involved in project planning, initiation, planning, execution, controlling, and closure. Hmm, sounds sweet in my ears. Omotola Olufunke, yes, said, I learned documentation after every milestone. Mm, nice. Dorcas Olulade said, I learned in the last class that every phase in project management should be documented. Omotola Olufunke said, it's important. As a side point too, Fidelis Favor said, I learned that project closure helps to evaluate project success. It also helps us to identify lessons learned, and we can use the learnings in the current and future projects, which is pretty very smart. Uh, this is just a like side note for me. The more you have side notes, the more you have documentations, the more you have um, documentation of each milestone or each step or each sprint or phase that you take, right? It helps you to know how to go about the whole um, transitioning, not just with yourself, but with your team generally, right? With your teams generally. The fact that okay, sorry, there was a glitch. Okay, so the fact that you can what's the word? Yeah, document and have reasonable pointers and even the negative results that you got. It helps you to plan better, right, for the next phase or the next project that you might be working on. So that's a very good point that all of you have given. So let's take Fidelis and Rachel's. I learned that project closure helps to evaluate project success. It also helps us to identify lessons learned, and we can use the learnings in the current and future projects, right? Olade Dafe, welcome to class. Rachel said, I learned that it is also important to document after every milestone. Also, the close stage is the stage where all boxes are checked and documented properly. I'm sure Mr. Kingsley is very proud of every one of you that gave pointers from the last class. I'm sure he's really proud with the pointers you've been able to give from the last class. It means that it shows that he's doing something right, and you are amazing people, amazing team members to pick up everything that we're giving you, and you're also giving us back to it. It's just bliss. I'm happy. I'm proud to have you all. Right. Hi, Adejoke. Good evening. Welcome to class. Welcome, welcome. I hope today isn't that stressful. So yeah, and we have a confirmation from Mr. Kingsley saying, I am super proud of this class. So yeah. Okay, let's take Eunice's. Eunice said, I learned that in closure of a project, there should be project closure checklist, closure checklist, document your lessons learned, and to make sure to have your project evaluation report is included in your documentation. Ooh, Adejake said, today has been very kind. Bliss. So, Onu Nuju Yunus, that was a very beautiful point too that you gave. Thank you for that, right? Thank you all, thank you all, thank you all. So, today's class, I feel like, everybody has given really good insights from the last class. So, we could take today's class and, try to wrap up early. It wouldn't be a bad thing if we wrap up early, right? Um, Okunade said, okay, Okunade Oluwatoyosi said, I learned that it is important to celebrate the successful closure of the project. Celebrating the team members makes them motivated to work for better for next project. Who doesn't like good celebration? I love good celebrations too. So that's a very good point. Okunade Oluwatoyosi. So yeah, it doesn't have to be all out celebrations. It can be, vote of thanks, word of thanks, appreciations, notes, recognitions, recommendations to other persons, right? Those two very much count and matter in your career path, right? So that's a very beautiful point of what I see. Hi, Matthew, Victoria, welcome. Good evening. Good evening, BB Ventures. Welcome to class. So you haven't missed much. We're just going to go into today's class so that everybody learns one or two. We discuss one or twos, and then we wrap up for the day, right? So without further ado, let's go into today's slides. Okay, so we're going to be talking today about advanced. Oh, sorry about that, Akim Pelu. I'll have to leave the class early thanks to national grade. Ugh. Ugh. Sorry about that. Temilati said, I learned we should always sign off project deliverables at different stages of the project. Great, that's beautiful. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to class. I look forward to seeing your beautiful face too as well. And hello, Ola Di Pupo Esther. Welcome to class. So let's just see how we can get into the class so that even if we leave in good time, everybody has the opportunity to learn a lot, right? You get the slides hopefully today. We'll talk to the team to provide that for you, right? So let's go into the slides. Good evening, Vera. Welcome to class. So we have project advanced project management topics, right? Which is going to be what we're going to be focusing on today. And under this, we have the contents. We have we have agile project management in depth. We have project portfolio management too, and three, we have project management tools and technologies. Thank you, Choma. I mean, somebody acknowledged the fact that I've got better. Do you get? Thank you so much. I that I'm grateful. So for let's go into the topic. So advanced project management topics, right? What are they? Project management is constantly evolving. And advanced topics include agile project management, project portfolio management, and leveraging modern tools and technologies, right? These topics help project managers optimize processes, align organizational goals with projects, and stay competitive in an increasingly complex and fast-paced environment. So, what are pretty much this topic? What are pretty much all these pointers that we're going to be learning today? We're all going to be learning how we can keep on our toes with methodologies and how to work with portfolios, project portfolios, and modern tools too, right, to make work easier. uh the more you can use tools, right, the more you use tools, the more easier it's going to be for you to do your work, the more it's going to help you with communications, the more it's going to help you to keep track of everything that everybody's doing, right? And who doesn't want a smarter way to work than a bulky or cumbersome or stressful way to work? I feel the best, like I always say, the best future or the best addition in a company should be easier ways or smarter ways for people to work, for their workers to work without much stress, right? If you're not bringing a future or an idea or a method that's going to be easy for your team members, honestly, do not bring it to the table. Just let it be and let them find smarter or easier ways to work for them, right? So that's just for the slide. So in agile project management, who can remember what agile is? I always talk about agile. I'm always talking about agile, about how it's one of the most flexible ways to work or methodologies in project management, right? I'm always talking about it. I don't know, for those that haven't seen me, maybe this is their first time. I used to always like using agile as a point for referencing in examples for as one of the most easy to use methodologies and one of the most renowned methodologies in project management. So, in agile project management, here it says it is a flexible, adaptable way to manage projects, especially in uncertain situations, right? So, unlike waterfall, hybrid, yes. Chema. Oh, Chema has like retentive memory. That's so amazing. You make a great PMP. A great PM, sorry. So in another point, it says Agile project management is a flexible and interactive approach to delivering projects, especially in complex and uncertain environments. Unlike traditional methodologies like waterfall, which follow a linear path, Agile allows for adaptability and continuous improvement throughout the project lifecycle. So, what it's just saying is that it helps you to be able to make decisions on the go. If you're in projects, if you're in phase A and you feel at that spot, you can use phase D in order to help make things easier for phase H, right? Why not pick that and then we can do two things at a go? You can start with phase D and still come back to phase A to try to, finish off some work and come back and then see how you can handle this. You can be flexible with your timing, with your deliverables, right? Make sure that you're making changes that will not affect the project, but instead make the project better, right? Yeah, it looks like we're starting from the very start. So the moment I feel you feel you're going to the very beginning, you should be aware that you're almost rounding up, idiota. Yeah, that's just a point for me to like let you know that we are most likely rounding up. Yeah. So unlike waterfall and hybrid, that have more structure and have more of a linear path. Linear means that it's just a straightforward path. It flows directly from A, B, C, D, and doesn't has a way of intersecting, right? So these are things that Agile lets you have the comfortability to do. So key points in Agile. Uh, Interactive development. Projects are broken into small, manageable pieces called iterations or sprints or phases. After each sprint, the team delivers a working product and gathers feedback. Pretty much what this is saying is that, the whole WBS that we have, work breakdown structure, that's pretty much one of the features of Agile, just that, you can still break them into nano bits, right? To clarify clearly, to make it more clear to your team members, these are your roles, this is what we're going to be doing in the sprint, right? To be pretty much more detailed and more specific. So iterative development, right? And you get more feedbacks because you're dealing with pretty much the nitty gritties of pretty much every phase or every team members or every sprint. Collaboration. Teamwork closely with each other, developers, designers, stakeholders, and communicate frequently. So it depends on what products or in projects, right, that you're working on or product, right? You can have developers create a web page or a website or a product. You can have a construction building whereby you have your construction workers, your interior decorators, your uh, suppliers and all of that. And then we have your stakeholders. Stakeholders could be those that are funding or financing the project, and people or persons that are in the decision seats to make things go better or easier and smoothly. Because if you do not involve those parties in your project and you believe you're doing this as a lone wolf, you howl so sadly, right? So all of this is not just limited to Agile, right? It's also one of the importance of Agile. It lets you have flexibility around these persons to know what everybody's doing and to be involved properly in the process of making sure that the project reaches optimum success. So we have customer focus. Continuous engagement with customers helps teams adjust based on feedback. So for one thing again for agiles is that it's always constantly wanting feedbacks, right? Each phase, each sprint, how did we go about it? How did you what methodology did you use? Or what idea came to you and you decided to carry it out? What plan did you have for this? And how did you reach this in such good time? Or why did you reach this in bad time? Right? Feedback always helps you to adjust, right? It helps you to adjust, it helps you to make right decisions, it helps you to give back to the project properly, right? It just helps fine tune your project. So we have empowered teams. Teams are given the freedom to make decisions and solve problems without waiting for approval from higher ups. So one of the features again under agile is that you have the power to make your team members have power to make decisions on their own, unlike most methodologies or some projects. Okay, can't see the last one. Sorry, if they can move this, let me see, can I zoom into it so that you can see it? My face is blocking the last point. Sorry. A big head is blocking the last point. Okay, so yes, empowered teams. Thank you, Idiota. Sorry, Esther, about the bad network. So yes, thank you to our technical team for helping my head be away from the point. So yeah, empowering teams. It helps you to it helps your team members to have their own minds and to make their own uh, decisions, hopefully, or it gives you trust and it makes them feel trustworthy for them to make decisions that you believe will be able to impact the project and not cause damage to the project, right? Nobody wants to invest in a project and at the end somebody's um, causing confusions or messing the rest of the project up. So yeah, pretty much that. Yeah, yeah, I hope you can ignore that. I don't know what is happening there. So, okay. So yeah, the last point is empowering your teams, pretty much giving them veto power to make decisions. And yes, sorry about the background noise. I don't even know what is even going on. So I apologize. It's no Pepe, blessing. I think it's the wall. So yes, so we have agile frameworks, meaning uh, just methodologies under agile, right? So we have number one, which is Scrum, the most widely used agile framework. It operates in circles, sprints, typically lasting 2 to 4 weeks. Scrum roles include product owner, scrum master, and development team. The sprint includes planning, daily stand-up meetings, sprint reviews, and sprint retrospectives, right? So Scrum is just like it's a big sub body, right, of Agile, right? Sometimes people tend to even confuse Scrum for Agile, but then it's more of a sub body under Agile. And although it has all the features of that of Agile, right? Agile is seen as like the big brother to Scrum. It like it says, it involves planning, which is the normal process, stand-up meetings. Remember how I said you always should always have meetings with your team members? So these are one of the features of that. sprint reviews, and sprint retrospectives. In the next point, we have Kanban. Focuses on continuous flow and work in progress, which is the VIP, work in progress limits. It uses visual boards to track tasks and ensures no bottlenecks disrupts the flow of work. So Kanban could be, you could link it with like, should I say your Gantt charts? Yeah, you can say something. It has like your Gantt charts and your trackers, your tax allocations, right? But this is more in visual settings, whereby you make it simple for your team members to understand, and it helps you to spot out um, turbulences, problems, challenges that might occur in your methodology that you choose or pick, and um, project in your project success, right? So for lean, when you hear lean, okay, so Onunuju Yini said, and stand-up meetings in Scrum should not be more than 15 minutes. Exactly. It depends though. It depends on how the project maybe. Once people start giving feedbacks and you need feedback, sometimes they might take up to 20 minutes. But yes, very true. Ononuju Eunice said it shouldn't take more than 15 minutes. So that's coming from our team PM, our team project manager as well, Eunice. So lean, derived from lean manufacturing, this framework focuses on delivering value by minimizing waste and optimizing processes. So like, yeah, slim. I'm a slim girl. I think I'm a slim girl. I'm not that slim though. But yeah, when you lean, you can fit into tiny spaces. You don't need to, struggle to pass through a door. You could use that as like, a pointer. So lean pretty much means that you're utilizing all that you have. You're not leaving room for waste. You're not leaving room for uh over for you to what's the word, yeah, for you to waste your resources, or to allocate. Pretty much one person can have like 4 to 3 roles, 3 to 4 roles, with lean methodology or with a lean framework, because it's meant to increase productivity and reduce costing, wastage, and the likes of them, right? It's just pretty much if you have, most startups rather tend to like to use lean methodology. It also involves in business users, whereby they do not get many or too many um, persons on a team. They just maybe get like 2 to 3 persons in a team, and that person could handle HR, could handle admin, could handle let's say content creation. Really utilizing the resources you have. It could be materials, it could be machine, it could be man labor, it could be your location, right? All of this, right? So lean methodology or lean framework pretty much means you are um, minimizing waste and optimizing processes. So for extreme programming XP, it is aimed at improving software quality, sorry. XP encourages frequent releases, paired programming, and constant customer involvement. So this is pretty much like for developers or people that have like products, right? Most of the time, because when products are being created, right? Most of the time, they have to go through a lot of testing. They have to go through a lot of evaluating and all of that, test nets, pipelines, likes of them, right? And you need to involve your stakeholders or your customers, because they're the ones that know what they want and you're working for them, right? Because if you don't have them in the flow, in the system, most likely you may not provide what they are actually requesting. You might just be freelancing on your own head, and it's not really what uh, they asked of you, right? So this involves your customers, stakeholders, and also the programmers or the team members that are knee deep, or the ones that are in the process in the creation of a product or service, right? So yeah, so for benefits of Agile, we have increased flexibility and adaptability. We mentioned that it's very flexible, and you can make changes at a go. You can adapt to any phase, any sprint that you choose to. Improved customer satisfaction through constant feedback. The fact that you're carrying your stakeholders and your customers along, there's even some sense of trust that they will have with you, that, oh, okay, you're taking me up on my project, right? And you're not just leaving me one side, you're giving me feedbacks. A lot of people appreciate when they get feedbacks, so that they know that you're taking their point of view seriously, and that sorry about the background noise, that you're taking their point of view serious, and you are carrying them along the whole process. It makes them trust you more. It makes them know that you're out for them, and which is pretty much your goal, to make sure that your customer is satisfied. Faster time to market due to incremental releases. Because of the flexibility, there is a higher chance that there is going to be much more results, right? You can release your product in very good time, because of you're not just stuck in one phase. You're pretty much doing at least maybe two or three phases at a go, and it could increase to um, the likelihood of making sure of getting your project to a good result, to a good result. Also, you see, even me too, I look forward to that. I really look forward to it. I mean, don't we all want that? Enhanced team collaboration and motivation. The fact that your team members have better power to some extent to make decisions on a project makes them also feel valued, right? And also makes them feel seen. It's important for your team members to know that you are somebody that they can relate with, and they can make good decisions that affect the project, right? But I would caution you to also be careful about the level of power that you assign to them, right? And still try your best to evaluate when situations like this happen, right? And motivation. So the fact that you're constantly having meetings with this person for 15 minutes, 20 minutes daily, or bi-weekly, depending on how many times you choose to have meetings with your team members, right? You can have the opportunity to motivate them properly. You can have the opportunity to know what they're doing properly and what they're not, to correct them. So the point of view also being a project manager is um to motivate your team members, be enthusiastic about them, be a guide to them, right? And to carry them in okay, yeah, to carry them through the process, so that the project is not cumbersome for even yourself or for your clients, but also for your team members, right? Like how who was that mentioned that celebrating your team members is really important. Yeah, I second that big notion, right? Celebrating your team members is very important, so as well. Continuous improvement with regular retrospectives. So you're always going to get more points, you're always going to get new challenges, you're always going to get feedbacks, right? So the fact that you're getting this, you're constantly going to be shaping yourself, you're constantly going to be doing better, because you're not just sitting down and just following just one process. You most likely even tried two to three processes, two to three methodologies, and they worked, right? Or they were not effective. So this helps you to improve, not just as a project manager, but also makes you to improve your team members' productivity and a good result for the project overall, right? So we have challenges of agile project management, needs cultural changes within the organization. Remember how I said the fact that it can be flexible, you can pick up at any time. So there are times that what some um, I can't use millennials. Let's say white collar jobs. I won't even say white collar jobs. Let me just say some companies or some organizations, right? They tend to have like some direct flow of system of, cultural behavior in the space, right? So there are chances that this cultural behavior might be shifting, might be changing. People might want to be working remotely, people might not want to be at the site for, some given period of time. So there can be cultural shifts in the cultural shiftier behaviors in the organization, and this could, have effect on your projects. So two, it can lead to uncontrolled project scope if not managed well. Because everybody, I feel the team members have been given some level of veto power and they can make decisions on their own. They might now start having a view of the project from their own point of view and not what the project overview is. Everybody's now most likely making decisions that they feel will will change or affect the project positively, right? I really wish I knew what is going on, but I don't. I'm sorry, Tim. I'm sorry. Uh, who drops in the nighttime? Okay. I'm sorry, Tim. I'm really sorry. I don't even know who up at night. It's amazing to me too. It's puzzling. Okay. I've been Neka, even myself, I'm wondering. Oh. So yeah, it's quite for a while. So the third point is less effective for projects with strict requirements. So like some cultural behaviors and some rules and regulations of some companies, some of them have a direct system of how they do things, right? And you would also have to pick up to what they prefer, how they go about their works, how they do everything, right? Right. So yes, so this could affect agile methodology because they might not be comfortable with the fact that there is some flexibility in the in the project. They would probably want to go through it in the methodology or hybrid, right? So these are things you have to consider too, and they could be challenges in the project. So, anyway, blessing, please calm down. Oh. Please be calming down. Omada Sola said, maybe I watched too many crime movies, but I hope somebody's not hiding any crimes in there. Please, don't scare me. So yes, we're going to go to the next point, which is project portfolio management. Uh, don't worry, I'm sure that is not the case here. Maybe somebody, I don't even know what the person is working on, but oh well, oh well. So before we go on our break first, let's take little of this. PPM, which is project portfolio management, is about managing multiple projects at once and making sure they align with an organization's goal. The focus is on optimizing resources and balancing priorities to get the best overall results. So yeah, so as a project manager, when you become so great at your work, which I believe every one of you here will be outstandingly great, right? Most of the time, there tend to be multiple projects going on in your organization, right? Thank you, Rolly. So there tend to be some departments that you would have to spearhead, right, in their projects, depending on the volume of projects that your company may be working on. Some companies might be working on three projects at a go, and because of maybe there's so much there's so much trust and rely on your capabilities to do or to deliver proper, right, proper, they tell you to spearhead all these threes. So it can be a lot of work, right, and it can be a lot tasking. So you have to make sure that the project overview is secured in your head. You have enough documentations to back each of this project that you're working on, and you've allocated it properly to the right team members, right? Just pretty much the whole steps of a project manager: planning, scheduling, allocating, delegating, feedback, evaluation, re-evaluation, right? So, but it's not just on one project, it could be like two to three projects, right? Hi, Akimpelupis. I don't think I saw you earlier in class, but welcome. So, uh, we were talking about food. Don't worry. Food will come. So, portfolio alignment, which is one of the key concepts in PPM. We have ensuring that projects within the portfolio are aligned with the organization's strategic goals and objectives. Like I mentioned, some companies have their own methodology, their own style, their whole cultural behavior that you would have to make sure it aligns properly with the methodology that you pick, right? And you would have to make sure that you execute it to the organization's request. Because if you if you decide to go haywire and pick your own methodology, let's say you succeed, right? And they are okay, they let it be a pass mark and let you do it. But there's some they'll be like, okay, you did a good job, but because you didn't follow our terms and regulations, we wouldn't want to proceed with you. So make sure that you align all of these project portfolios to each of these organizations, or most of the time it might not even be just one organization you're working with, right? You could be working with like two to three organizations. So make sure not to mistake anyone for the other, and you are pretty excuse me, and you are pretty much in tune with what the project overview is, right? So we have resource management. Under resource management, we have optimizing the allocation resource resources, sorry, budget, manpower, tools across various projects to ensure efficiency and prevent bottlenecks. So yeah, resource management, pretty much you making sure that manual labor is around or your team members are in check. You've delegated the roles to them clearly. Your work breakdown is specific on what everybody is supposed to be doing. You've allocated to them generally. This is what you're supposed to do. I don't want you to be going into this other department focused on what I've given you to do, and please give me back what the results or feedback or the reports of this in good time or due time, right? These are things that you have to put in mind as as concepts in PPM. Sorry, got it cold. Risk management, identifying and mitigating risks that could affect multiple projects in portfolio. So in our previous classes, we spoke about negative brainstorming, evaluation, um, challenge brainstorming too as well, brainstorming with your team, right? To make sure that you try to tackle where problems or where better results can come from, can stem from. And then have performance monitoring, KPIs, using KPIs, uh, and metrics, right? Key performance indicators. Yes, yes. I think it was Umatasala that's corrected me one time with my KPIs. I would say something else, and she helped me with that. So thank you again for that. And metrics to track the performance of each project and the portfolio as a whole to ensure progress and value delivery. KPIs pretty much just help you to know how everybody is working, how much time they're putting in, what the results are they effective, what style are you using, and how it has it impact your report and the likes of them, right? Really, no. Yeah, wait, it's not all that, Sha. It's not all that. There are lots into it, but don't worry. When you get the slides and you check other contents that we've shared, right, you get to know that it's not all about bossing people around. So we have stakeholder engagement. So stakeholder engagement, keeping stakeholders informed and ensuring their needs and expectations are considered across the entire portfolio. So yeah, so this is you pretty much just carrying your stakeholders along with the whole process, making sure that they have an idea of what the project is, the state that it's in the results, even when nobody likes hearing negative pointers, but they should share the challenges too that you're facing or that the project is facing and how you most likely have overcome it or will overcome it, right? Bless the many, but that's very true. You could receive a very hot punch. So yes, so yeah, let's just when we're going to halt so that everybody can take their attendance, right? Everybody can take their attendance, and then when we come back, we try to brush through everything, and then we wrap up early, right? I hope we wrap up early. So please take your attendance, and I'll see you in a few. Bye. Okay, so welcome back, everybody. I hope we're able to all take our attendance. If we were, then kudos. Nice one to everybody. So we will just go into the class. Okay. So I could see a lot going on in the comment session, and I'm glad you're all having a blast. So in the next slide, we have steps in PPMs. So under that, we have identification, listing all potential projects and categorizing them by risks, budgets, etc. Thank you so much, Rachel. Thank you. So you just pretty much this is pretty much in your whole work breakdown structure, right? This is pretty much all in your whole work breakdown structure, in your planning and your scheduling. You identifying list of problems, you identifying all that needs to be done, and the roles and the work, the materials, the time, the labor, all of this, right, has to be put into consideration when you are categorizing your when you're categorizing everything. And yes, for you to be able to also work with your budget, right? Because your budget helps you to streamline what your team members should be able to deliver, what your team members could be able to deliver, and the likes of them. I'm sorry, guys. So evaluation, we have accessing each project using criteria like ROI, return on investment, and risks. We also mentioned how important it is for you to evaluate in your scheduling phase, in your planning phase, in your post post project phase, in your closing and your feedback phase. All of that needs to be in consideration, right? When you are evaluating, so that you can know how to go about things strategically, you can know how to go about things wisely, make wise decisions, not just based on your own know-how, but based on what you've gotten back and how you've gone through the whole process. Prioritization, prioritization ranking projects based on how well they meet the organization's goals. It's not just only about meeting the organization's goals, it's what needs to be done before others. Most of the time, you cannot start a construction without having the materials. Are you just going to have the people and just the land? No, there are things that are very important. You can't just have a web page. You can't have a developer and not have a system, right? Whereby the developer is going to be working with. So materials are very important. If it's manual labor that is important, if it's your supplier that is important, there are things you have to prioritize than others. They could come. Some of those other steps could come later on, but what you feel what needs to be ticked first so that the project goes smoothly. If it's, let's say, event too as well, the location matters. You can't have an event without the location itself, right? So you have to pay for the location first before you start paying for other things, right? Those are things you have to put into consideration. Resource allocation, distributing resources based on project priorities. This could be based if it's materials, if it's budget, if it's financing that everybody will need, if it's manual labor that your team members will need, people they will need under them. All these are things you have to consider, right? Excuse me. All these are things you have to consider when you are distributing or allocating to what do you call it? to your team members and to the project itself. Portfolio adjustments, dropping or reprioritizing projects as conditions change. This could also be linked to Agile, which is flexibility, right? Um, Please, can you give me a minute? I'm sorry. Let me quickly. Okay, sorry. So we have portfolio adjustment. Remember in the previous slide, we mentioned how you have to make sure that everything is streamlined and trimmed or tailored specifically to what the organization wants or what the project needs, right? So you have to make sure that each portfolio or each project overview aligns with the methodology that you're using, with the allocation or resources that you're using. You cannot be working with an event company and be thinking about how to supply cement to them. I don't understand. So maybe you're working with a um, construction company, which is where you're supposed to be writing under the portfolio that they'll be needing cement, and then under the event company, you're then writing that they'll be needing cement. You get all of this misalignment can jeopardize your work. So make sure that all of this you understand the overview. That's just a simple example, but there are other serious situations or serious challenges or um, stuffs that can pop up along the way, right? So then we have monitoring and reporting, regularly reviewing the portfolio's progress. This is not just necessarily the portfolio, but also your team members. But primarily, we're talking about portfolios, right? So portfolio is where you have to be monitoring it and making sure you're getting good reports from your team members or you're getting good reports from your stakeholders, clients, or customers, right? Monitoring what your team members are doing, reporting it to your stakeholders, getting feedback from them too as well, and also reporting it under your own documentations. So this is just the whole steps in PPM, project portfolio management. So in our next slide, we have PPM process steps. So we have identify. I think this is the same thing. Yep, it's the same thing. Sorry. Let's just move to the next slide. I think I put this twice. I'm sorry for the mistake, guys. I'm sorry. But this is more explanatory than that one. So you can still take time to read this when I share the slides. So we have benefits of PPM. Benefits of PPM is that it optimizes usage across multiple projects. The second is strategic alignment between project and business objectives, improved risk management at a portfolio level, and better visibility for decision making and forecasting. You know what forecasting is now? For you to brainstorm and to plan, to be able to predict. Forecasting pretty much is just predicting, trying to predict future scenarios, problems, challenges, positive remarks, all of that. So so those are the benefits of PPM. It helps you with resources. It makes you to be able to use the resources that you've had, right? To be able to use it across multiple projects. You could be able to use the methodology that you used for maybe, let's say, an event project, for an entertainment project, for a uh, maybe anything that has to do with streamlining around it and not just one, right? Yeah, not just one. So, and strategic alignment between projects and business objectives. It helps you to be able to specifically know what you need from the next project, what you need to acquire from the other project. It just helps you have backing, right? Because you've done this already, so the second time you're going to do it, it's most likely going to be better, most likely going to be smarter. That's a smarter way to go about things, right? And then improve risk management as a portfolio level. So it helps you to reduce challenges or problems that you may face, because most of the times these problems tend to what do you call them, resurface, reoccur. And the fact that you're doing you've done this helps you to navigate your life clearly. So Blessing Many spoke about the carpenter and said, "What is the carpenter doing during the day?" Even me, my sister, I honestly do not know. It's around 8:22, somebody is working. So challenges of PPM, balancing demands from different projects. So it can be overwhelming, right? Dealing with maybe 2 to 3 projects at a go, and you might be exhausted, you might be famished, you might have so much on your table. So if you don't delegate this to somebody to help you out, maybe get a PA, must you delegate it to one of your team members to help you in documentations and the like of them, right? So yeah, that's one of the challenges of PPM. Requires collaboration across the organization. You have to collaborate with most likely the finance team, the marketing team, the sales team. You have to pretty much spearhead most of these departments, depending on how bulky rather the project is. So you have more work on your hands, right? And keeping data accurate and up to date for decision making. It can be exhausting trying to constantly upgrade or update your portfolio. It's exhausting. It's tiring. It can be challenging, right? So, like I said, it's either you delegate it to somebody to help you with that, or you put it in manually. You can set up a schedule for you to constantly be conscious and aware of you always doing this, updating your portfolios, right? And then we have three. By present point of view, he's trying to meet deadline. Bless him. Most likely, maybe that's what he's going through. Bumi said the cancer has a project to complete. Yeah, timeline must be met. That's what really said. Okay. Oh yeah, no. So this pretty much the last topic uh project evaluation and on project evaluation pretty much. We have modern tools, project management tools and technologies. So modern tools help project managers to become more efficient, to collaborate better with your team members, your stakeholders, your consumers, your clients, right? And to make smarter decisions, to make better decisions, strategic decisions that will help your work make easy, and also turnovers or good result for your company, right? So there are many categories of tools available. Yeah, so there are lots of project management tools, and we'll get to that in the next slide. Oh yeah, yes, yes. Woo. So, okay, sorry. So the next slide, tax and workflow management. So this is just pretty much to give you tips and pointers of the type of what's it called, tools that you could use, right? So it's just straightforward. For tax and workflow management, you could use Asana and Trello. So they have features whereby they organize and track tax, organize and tax tracks. And sorry, yes. And you also have teams. I forgot to mention teams there, but yeah, you get to see teams in other pointers, right? And for collaboration, we have help teams communicate. For collaboration, we have tools that help you communicate with your team members. I don't know. You can also list points, tools that you yourself you use, right, to also help your fellow PMs, right? It's never a bad thing to recommend what you use to somebody else because you don't know. There are so many softwares and so many tools that developers are constantly creating to try to make work easier and better. So we have the conventional ones that we're used to that are more popular and much more recommended and in use, right? But then, yeah, you can still list some in the comment section. Telegram. You could say Telegram. Yeah, there are companies that use Telegram for collaboration, right? Whereby they talk to communicate, rather, to communicate with your team members and the likes of them. Yeah, you could use that. Telegram for communication, rather. Solely communication. Mm, yeah. It's also very good, what do you call it? Platform to store files and the likes of them. Oh, Boomy said Office 365. Nice one, my girl. So under collaboration, we have Slack. I use Slack. Who uses Slack? We could always just raise our hands for the ones that we use. That could be very fun. I use Slack. I use Microsoft Teams very once in a very blue moon. I use Google Meet, two hands. Okay, so Ibukunoluwa, Ibuk Nu Oluwa Odu says WhatsApp, Google Meet, and Zoom. So I did check. I said I feel collaboration tools should be secure. So I don't really know if Telegram fits. Thank you very much for that point. Thank you very much for that point. I solely feel Telegram should be for communications too as well, just communications rather than collaboration. But that's a very good point too, Adichake. I'm glad you're not super exhausted. Then time tracking, we have Teams, Google Workspace, and Harvest. These are another points. I don't know. Do you use Teams? I use Teams. Do you use Google Workspace? I use Google Workspace. I don't really use Harvest. So, okay, Manny says she uses Slack. Adijake says she uses Microsoft 365. Bumi said Microsoft Teams. Oh, nice. Then we have document sharing, store and share files across teams. We have Google Workspace. I use Google Workspace. Drive. I use Drive. It's pretty much under Google not Workspace. Notion. Use Notion too as well. Dropbox. Oh, I don't really use Dropbox. I don't use Dropbox. I don't use Dropbox. Oh, Oluwatobi said she uses Google Workspace. Nice one. Really nice, really nice. Linda says, I use Microsoft Teams. Oh, interesting. Really interesting. That sounds nice. Linda said, I use Office 365. Bumi said, Ed Admin. Oh, I don't even know what that is. So for reporting, we have visualized data and project performance. We have Power BI. These are for like our serious conk data analysts people. We have Google Workspace, whereby you can use your Excel sheets, or you can even use Word or any other feature. Then we have Tableau. That's also for like data analysts, right? Then we have risk management, track risks in a project. What about Gantt chart, whereby we can use softwares or tools like Primavera and even Microsoft too. We have Rick's Watch, and I can't even for the life of me picture what was those last one. Resolver. Yep. So that's it for this slide. So a lot of people are writing the tools they use. Adijaka uses Drive, SharePoint, Outlook. Adijaka, you look like you're a Microsoft girly. Copilot. Ooh, Nkechi uses Google Space. I am a Google I'm a Google girly. I am a Google girly. I am a proud Google girly. I'm not going to lie. But I really like when people to use Microsoft. I feel their interface are becoming really beautiful these 2 days. Of recent, I liked their sheet, what do you call it, interface. Yeah, they have this pleasing look, right? You people are serious too. Oh my, that's so loud. Don't worry, you can also use WhatsApp. You can also use WhatsApp for communication. Anybody that uses WhatsApp, raise your hands. I also use WhatsApp, right? So that's still a communication tool, right? So yes, everybody is very serious here. Don't worry. Other Salah, we know you're most serious. What about um Egoff? Yeah, Egoff, right? That's her name. I haven't heard from her today. And the class is almost over. So we're almost done with our slides, right? Agatha says she uses Google Workspace. Well done, my Google girlie. So you have chosen the right project management tools. When selecting tools, organizations may and must understand factors like the size and complexity of the project or portfolio, integration with existing softwares, ease of use and team adoption, scalability for future growth, and customization options, right? So all those are very important pointers that uh all those are important pointers that we should always consider for these companies or for these organizations, right? Because there are some companies that will be like, okay, they even have paid subscriptions or paid subscriptions for Slack, for Teams, for why is it hard to remember so yeah, for even Google's spaces too, right? There's some organizations that and also Microsoft, right? So there are a lot of companies that have their preferences. It's also up to you to have basic knowledge about some of this, right? Right. So these are very important things that it will be wise for you to have knowledge about, right? Because these are things that most of those companies consider when they want to pick you as their project manager. Are you good with Jira? Are you good with Slack? Are you good with Allison, right? All of these are things that they will ask you if you have knowledge about. And the very good thing with all the software or tools is that they're not really hard to navigate. I would advise you to watch maybe 1 or 2 videos on what do you call it? On YouTube. Sorry. Yeah, to watch 1 or 2 videos on these softwares and you would know that you would be able to navigate, right? So the more you learn, the more it's going to be easier and the more people are going to want to trust you to be on their project, right? Communication tools are very important and they help you like serious. So please, for the slides, how can I get them? I checked Telegram and I didn't see any of them. Okay, it's meant to be in the LMS group and Telegram, but I'm sure the IT will help us with that. Will help us to Linda. It's so much now I don't understand. License for 365 is so much now. I don't understand. Adejake. Well, MS people, Microsoft people, but I really like that you're a Microsoft person. Makes me look at you with this full eyes. Nice. So, emerging trends, right? AI and machine learning predict risk and automate tasks. So, I'm an AI girl. I love to use AI. I'm not going to lie. AI helps you to make your life easier, helps you to make the work easier, helps you to give to some level good reportings and documentations, right? I would advise a lot of you project managers, my team members, right, to use AI, right? To use AI. the fact that you're using it doesn't mean you should just solely rely on it. You should also have human touch to it, whereby you edit and then you also use your own discretion on it, right? Right. So these are ways you can go about it pretty much smoothly. Uh, so for cloud-based project management, work in real time from anywhere. Cloud-based is pretty much for example, Google makes backs up everything of yours in the so you can be on the go and you have access to your files, your documents on your phone. If you're not somebody that moves around with your PC, you can always go through your phone. You can always go through your phone and the likes of them. Sorry. You can always go through your phone and the likes of them to make sure you can update it or uh, to just input whatever you need to do or make changes, share documents on the go, right? And it's helping make life easier. So we have automation, automate repetitive tasks, e.g., Power Automate and Google Workspace. Pretty much what I said. Just the access to always re-evaluate your sheets or your documents and to let everybody have access to it. That's like an amazing perk. You can share your document with everyone and it's everybody will be in sync with the whole update. So automation too is very important. Yes, Ibu no Oluwa. Proud Google girlie. Please, they should not start making us pay. So in conclusion, advanced project management topics such as agile methodologies, project portfolio management, and modern tools and technologies are key to successfully delivering projects in today's fast-paced and complex environment. Agile promotes flexibility, adaptability, while PPM helps align projects with business strategy, and modern tools enhance collaboration, productivity, and efficiency. So, this conclusion is pretty much explanatory, right? For the tools, it helps you with collaboration, communication, deliverables at a good time, right? And then we have for PMP, which is help you to make great strategic pointers, and for Agile helps with flexibility and adaptability, right? So with this, we're done with the class. Thank you. It was interesting having you guys here, right? It was really interesting having all of you in this class, and everybody was able to give amazing points. I'm sorry about the capital guy. Like many said, he has deadlines to meet, most likely. So, yes. So, without further ado, good night, everybody. I don't know. Do you have any pointers to make, or we could just call it tonight? Okay. Uh, Sorry, Linda. Okay. Okay. Okay, Linda, we'll always look for a way to handle your special cases. And for Mother Sora, I insist though you should be carpenter Biko. I beg. Teresa, you're quite quiet today in class, but yeah, I'm glad everybody was in class today. And good night, everybody. Take good night. Have a good night and take good care of yourselves. Bye.